Okay, we are live again on Saturday. It is 4 o'clock. Well, it's just gone 4 o'clock. It's good to have everyone here. We're back for our usual Lego chat and talk. There's a few things we need to go through today because I've actually made a list of things for us to go through. I know at the end of our last live stream, which was last week at 4 o'clock, we finished with vintage Lego. These things here. I think it's something that anyone who's grown up with Lego is interested in, really, is where it all, well, not where it started or where it, I like to consider Lego to be in its prime, and that was sort of back in the 80s, 90s perhaps. When I say prime, I don't mean the most sophisticated, but the most iconic time for Lego. That was, like I say, for me, that was the 80s. For a lot of other people, it is whenever they were a kid and whenever they sort of got involved with Lego. So what I want to do later on is we're going to look at these and probably see if there's anything in here we want to make. We'll pick something. You know, I might even throw it over to you guys to choose what we're going to do. So as I flick through the pages, just say, stop, make that. That's great. That's cool. And if I've got the bricks, we'll give it a go. And also if we've got the time. As well as this, I wanted to do something a little bit different, and that's what I like to call the news. Because I've been following social media, YouTube, and there's a few things that have been standing out to me this week. And I just wanted to go through some of that with you to share my opinions. At the end of the day, my opinions mean nothing. You guys make up your own mind about things. But I thought I'd share my thoughts on a couple of things. And they are, well, I've got three things really I'd like to look at. Firstly, Mills, the Lego Mills system, which is all over the place. We'll come to that in a second. And for those of you who don't know what Mills is, we'll go through that. The second thing is I want to talk about a new set that's coming out from Lego. It's causing a bit of a stir on on Instagram mainly, and a couple of other places I've seen. Everyone gets pretty vocal about it, and that's the BTS set that's coming out. So I just want to have a quick look at that. I'll give you my thoughts on it and just the thoughts of some of the other things I've seen to do with that, which I think are quite funny. And finally, the third thing is a new Lego set that's coming out again. This is the Horizon Forbidden West set, I believe. I just want to give my thoughts on that one as well. I'm not going to do a review and do whatever's with it. You know what I'm like. I don't go for all of those reviews and things. I just want to give you my thoughts and impressions because sometimes they can be controversial, let's say. So we'll go through that. I've also had a package from Lego, so I'm going to get that out in a minute. I want to, again, this is for the guys out there who've never ordered anything direct from Lego, sort of the pick-a-brick side of it. So I'm going to open that and just show you what you can expect, really, because I put an order in, I think, last week for a load of new parts because I'd actually ran out totally of white bricks. I don't know where they've all gone. I literally have nothing left in white apart from a few little bits here and there. Base plates have all gone. So I had to put an order in. So I thought I'd share that with you guys as well. So again, if no one's ever ordered from Lego, then I'll get that out and show you what you can expect. And finally, like I say, we'll go through some of these vintage things and you can have a look at some of the old ideas books. I've got some old little catalogue pages here and a few other bits, which I think are really, really interesting just to pull out and show everybody. And then, as always, you guys know how this works. If anyone's got anything to say, any comments, just throw them at me and we'll go through all of the comments. As I show you the sort of the news section, as I look at those three sort of things, tell me your thoughts as well about them. Because like I say, my opinion is my opinion. Doesn't mean that everyone else has to like it and follow my opinion. You make up your own mind. So we're going to go through that as well. And it's always good to have a chat and just, just catch up with everybody, really, just see how everyone's getting on. So let's jump straight into that news. And like I say, as I go through this, Give me your thoughts, because I'm really interested to see what everyone's got to say. So yeah, let me just jump over to that. There we go. So the first thing I want to start with really is mills. Mills, okay? You can see it here. This is what mills is, and this is what it looks like. My opinion is probably not going to fit most people's opinions on this, but my opinion is I am so sick of seeing this. Everyone seems to be doing it, doing a YouTube video. Oh, how to make mills plates? How look what I can do with mills plates. And to me, what it looks like is a great way to waste a lot of bricks. Basically, you're taking a base plate and you're putting a load of stuff on top of it to make another base plate. Why? Okay. I get it from a certain point of view. If you've got a huge layout that you take to exhibitions and you have to take it apart constantly and you have to deconstruct it to pack it away, fine. These things here make a lot of sense. You can easily dismantle and put away. But for the average Lego builder, who's probably not got a huge layout, or they're not taking up a whole room with their Lego layout. You know, it might just be a few base plates here and there. You know, like mine. Mine's tiny in comparison with a lot of other people. But even those that have huge Lego sets, Lego layouts, why would you want to double up on base plates? Basically, what you're doing, for anyone who doesn't know what mills is modular. It's like a modular integrated landscaping system, or interlocking landscaping system. I believe that's what it stands for, modular interlocking landscaping system. And what it is, it's a bit like modular buildings. And I don't know whether if anyone's ever built a Lego modular building, what it is a standard size. It's a base plate that's a standard size. And what happens is, if you've ever built a modular building, you'll notice on the side there's some holes. All right, and they fit little Technic pins in those, and they're there to interlock with other buildings to connect them together so they don't drift apart, you don't get gaps, and to make sure things are perfectly aligned. Now, people have taken this to the next step, and they've started to do modular landscaping to raise everything up. So what you're basically doing is you're taking a base plate, just a normal base plate, and then you are raising it up by 1-2 bricks maybe, and then you're putting another base plate over the top with some landscape on it, and then you're going to interlock it with some more base plates. I get the point of, yes, well, we can have valleys. If we do this system, you know, we can build it up and have a little valley. Yep, that's fine. You can do that. But you can do that with a regular base plate as well. You can build it up and have a valley in the middle there. And then if you want to connect it to another base plate, you just get a tiny 2x4 plate or tile, and then you put it over the top and connect it together. This mill system, again, seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, I might be missing something here, but it seems like a great way to waste a lot of bricks, basically. You're stacking it up, and what I've seen a lot of people do is they're basically taking the new Lego road sets, which aren't base plates anymore. They're these kind of weird things. I've not got any of those yet myself. I don't know whether I'm going to, because I prefer to just use sort of greyish blue tiles to make roads. I find that very simple. But these newer ones don't really connect very well with existing modular buildings, and I'm guessing that's where the mill system is coming in, basically. And people are going, well, the new roads don't fit, so what we'll do is we'll take an existing base plate, we're going to buy one of those, which incidentally aren't cheap. You know, you're looking at, last time I looked, probably between £5 and £7-8 maybe for a single base plate. You might be able to get them cheaper from other places, but that's just kind of what I've seen. So basically, you're taking one of those, and then you're taking a load of bricks, put it on top, and then on top of that, you're putting some roads that you can buy from Lego. Now, those roads themselves, again, I had a quick look at those, and again, you can pick up a set of the new road system, which is basically, you can get a T-junction maybe, and last time I looked on Amazon, they were going for between £15 and £20 for one of those. So you're going to take one of those, put it on top of an already £10 base plate, so now you've got a £20 base plate with a raised road system on it. I don't see the point. I'd love to hear what everyone else thinks of these things. But I'm not saying they haven't got the place. I'm not hating on them. People want to use them, great. If you find them really useful, fantastic. Like I say, I can see the use for huge layouts that have to constantly be taken apart and stacked away, and things like that, or people who are constantly moving things around. Yeah, again, I get that. But again, somebody else had a comment on this, and I read it. I can't remember where I read it, whether it was on YouTube or whether Instagram. But somebody said, "Yeah, these are great." So you connect, let's say, 9 of these modular systems together. You click, 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 make a nice group of 9. How do you get the middle one out if you want to move it? You've got to take all of the rest away before you can get to it. And that's where my problem kind of comes in as well. If you want to move things around, you've got to disconnect everything else first to be able to move the damn thing. Again, if you're just using a standard base plate and putting it up against another standard base plate, you're probably only holding it in place with a couple of tiles just to keep it in place. I know that's what I do on mine. I just have a couple of tiles overlapping onto the next base plate just to connect it, hold it together, make sure there's no gaps in between. And if I want to move anything, I just lift that little tile and lift the whole thing out. I don't have to disconnect pins and Technic stuff here and there. So yeah, that's my thought on that. Like I say, I'm not hating on them. Well, I am a little bit, but if people are using them, great. Show me what you're using them for. But one of my point is, I am so sick of seeing this all over YouTube. People going, "Oh, how to make mills? Oh, yeah, you get a base plate and you put other base plates on top of it. How efficient are these? How to make this on a mills plate?" One person needs to do it. One person needs to do it well. Prove the point to me, or why we should all be doing it. And yeah. We don't need everyone jumping on it. Again, it's back to my live stream last week when we were we were all doing it. Actually, we were all having a little bit of a rant about we're sick of seeing the same set getting reviewed by a million different people. It seems like everyone jumps on the bandwagon. I thought, oh, well, I'm probably doing it now. I'm probably jumping on the bandwagon by just literally talking about it. But yeah. The set reviews where everyone reviews exactly the same set. We used the Titanic one last week as an example. If one person does it, 100 people do it. It's the same set. I've seen it. I don't need to see it again. Somebody else, whoever gets to it first, review it well. That's all I need. I don't need 100 different reviews and how to build the same thing over and over again. If someone's done it, don't copy them. Just if you can do it better and add something to the conversation, great. But don't show me the same thing that 10 other people have just done, and they've probably done it better. Okay, so I feel better now. Now I feel a little bit better now. I've got that little rant out of the way. But again, guys, tell me your thoughts. It's a creative thing. If people want to use these in that way, again, I've got nothing against it. I personally just don't see the point, and it's not something I would ever use. But yeah, tell me what you think. And again, if you've done a video about the mills plates, great. Give me a link to it. Let me have a look at it as well. Maybe you can convince me. I'm always open to another opinion on these things. I'm always open to having my mind changed. So if you can show me something and it's going to rock my world and there's no way that I can't integrate mills after you've shown me, then great. Send me the link. I'm all for that. But yeah, on last note on that one, tell me what you think of this. I want to hear your points of view. Like I say, we can go through those at the end of this live stream, or we can save them up for the next live stream as well. So that's the first bit of what I would call news and what I've been seeing around the internet. The next thing is, let's just move on to that. Is this. Now this is a new set that's come through. I don't know the details of this. I've just seen it going around some of the forums and Instagram, YouTube, and it's causing a stir. So I believe it's come from LEGO Ideas. And this is, when I first clicked on it, I thought, oh, the pink donut there, that's something to do with The Simpsons or something like that. But no, I looked a bit closer, and then I realised, well, initially I didn't realise what it was because I didn't recognize it basically. But when I read it a little bit further, I found out that this was a set for BTS. For those of you who don't know who BTS are, is what it is a boy band from Korea, and they are basically, here they are, they are basically the biggest thing in the world at the moment in terms of music. You don't have to like it to know how big it is in the music industry. It's for those of us that are over the age of, let's say, 20, 30 maybe, or even older than that, maybe 40, liken it to New Kids on the Block, or Take That, or Westlife, or Boyzone. That times 10 times 100. I can't overstate how big this band is. But it doesn't seem to hit mainstream in sort of Western countries. So in the UK, I don't know about America and things like that. They don't seem to be all over the charts over here. However, they are still a massive thing. So anyway, that's who BTS are. If you want to check them out. I'm sure you'll find it's one of those love-hate things, I'm guessing. But this set came from LEGO Ideas. Now, when I first looked at it, I kind of thought, okay, there's not a lot kind of happening here. There's a few little buildings, and there is a lot of minifigs. There's not a lot else going on. Why did this get put through on LEGO Ideas? But then, brain cells start kicking in, and it's kind of right. BTS, biggest boy band in the world ever. Okay, they get a huge fan base, and as soon as someone says, oh, look, LEGO Ideas, great, BTS, they're going to jump on it, they're going to click like, it's going to go through, it's going to go past the 10,000 like, whatever it is, to get through to the next stage. And then, of course, LEGO looked at that and went, yes, lots of BTS fans. Probably not LEGO fans. Maybe some of them are, but they've all got money. So yeah, let's do this set. So then it all makes sense. LEGO are probably just trying to capitalize on something and to make money from it. Like they do with lots of things, really. They're all over Marvel. They're all over Star Wars. They're all over all of these licenses as well. So that is, I'm very cynical. That's probably LEGO being commercial, really, and trying to make money from things, from people who are not necessarily LEGO City fans or LEGO castles or Lego trains. They just want to have something Star Wars, or they want to have something Marvel related, and they want to feel like they're being creative by just putting it together. Totally get it. Okay, fine. So yeah, I see the point of this set. I'm just a little disappointed by what's actually in it. There's not a lot of creativity in here. So just wait for this next slide to come up. You'll see the actual buildings themselves aren't that detailed. I mean, look, there it is. The disco, you got the cafe next door, donut shop next door to that. That ain't a complicated build. There's not a lot happening there. However, from a builder's point of view, there's lots of useful pieces in there. Look at that. That's actual proper Lego bricks. We haven't got little snot bricks or hooks or hinges or tiny, tiny pieces. In there are actually big Lego bricks. Proper Lego bricks, which is something we don't see a lot of in Lego sets anymore. Proper Lego bricks. Like, I'm talking building bricks, 4x1 building bricks, 6x1s. The things you can build walls with. But it just seems very basic to come through from LEGO Ideas. But and I know this is what I find funny, actually, because there was a huge debate on Instagram about this. Somebody posted it, having a bit of a rant about it, and I think it was because their idea got knocked off or dropped by LEGO, and this got put through. I think, if I can remember correctly, I don't follow LEGO Ideas too closely because I've kind of lost interest in it. I look at it, and there's a lot of really, really good stuff in there. You flick through and go, wow, that's fantastic, that's brilliant. But then you also look at it and go, there's no way in a million years LEGO are going to pick that. That's just not them. The one I was surprised about was the blacksmiths, the medieval. I think it's a medieval blacksmith shop that got put through last year. I think it was. I was very surprised that got put through. But then I saw what they did to it, and it was kind of okay, yeah. they've Lego-fied it basically and slimmed it down and made it look really basic. But there's a lot of stuff on Lego Ideas where you just look at it and go, yeah, that's fantastic, but it ain't ever going to get through. Even if you get 10,000 likes, votes, upvotes, whatever it is, that's never going to get put into a set. And also with Lego Ideas, there's also a lot of rubbish on there as well. I'm sorry, I've got to say it like it is. If you troll through there is a lot of rubbish in there as well. And you look at that and go, why even bother? What's the point? So yeah, I'm a little bit disenchanted by the whole Lego Ideas thing because for that reason as well, like I said, there's a lot of good stuff on there which you know is never going to get put through, and there's also a lot of rubbish on there which definitely isn't going to get put through. This one, I'm not going to say it's rubbish, but it's very simple. It's very basic. And like I say, from a parts point of view, there's lots of really useful parts in there. I would probably buy it because of the minifigs, because all of the minifigs in my Brick Prefecture, my Lego city, are flesh toned. I don't go for the yellow heads. I kind of just swap everything out for the flesh toned, and they're kind of hard to find. So something like this, instantly, I have got 7 new minifigs for my city. So I might get it because of that. And also, there's a lot of good building bricks in here. There's a lot of glass. There's some nice actual bricks. There's a lot of base plates in there as well. So I might, from a kind of a building point of view, I might get it for that as well. But from a BTS point of view, I wouldn't be getting it because of them. I think it's quite amusing, but I'd be getting it because there's lots of useful bits in there. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of upsetting a lot of people because again, it's doing the rounds in the comments. Everyone's complaining, going, "Oh, this is too simple. It looks like a child's done it. Why would you pick up on this? Oh, no one's ever going to buy that. Oh, it's so basic and there's so many good ideas out there. Why did that get put through and not the others?" Well, money is why it got put through, because the sort of $, signs flashed up in Lego's eyes and went, why didn't we think of that? Which is what Lego Ideas is all about. So that's that. Yeah, it's kind of, it is what it is. But the next one, let's move on from that one. Let's move on from BTS. I wish we could. Now, this one here. This is the new, it's not new. This has been floating around for quite a while. It's the Lego Horizon. I think this came about because of Zero Dawn, Horizon Zero Dawn. We're obviously on Horizon Forbidden West now, the new one. So I think this actual idea has been floating around for quite a while. I did a bit of a Google search on it, and yeah, this model keeps popping up and it keeps having Zero Dawn on it, not Forbidden West. So I think it's been around for a little while and it's just never really got put through. So, but aside from that, aside from the history and everything, again, for those of you who don't know, you might not all be into computer games and stuff like that. Horizon is, I'm going to sound like a dad now. Horizon is a video game. And it's a bit of a franchise, I suppose. It's not a massive franchise yet, but it is a very good, it's a very good game, very good graphics, gameplay is brilliant, open world, puzzle solving, all the usual sort of stuff. And it's a really, really good game. Now, one of the things that makes it stand out that's different from everything else is in the open world that you play in, all of the animals are machines. So you'll have big machines like this one here, you'll have little ones, you'll have even bigger ones than this, and they're all very mecha orientated. So that's kind of where we're coming from with this. I'm surprised actually that something like this didn't get picked up by a brand like Mega Bloks, because they're all over this sort of stuff. They do like the Halo franchise, they've got that, Mega Bloks do. So I'm surprised they didn't get hold of this one as well. But my thoughts on this are, it's a really nice looking set. It's well constructed. It looks, from my point of view, from an aesthetic kind of point of view, it looks really nice. It gives me kind of Gundam feels about the way it's been put together. Gundam mixed with, I don't know, kind of a bit of a Star Trek thing going on in there. I don't know. But anyway, aside from that, I think it's a really, really nice looking set. It's a nice looking build. The way it's presented on that big black kind of base that it's got there is all that reminds me of a little bit like Warhammer and the way they do things with their big models. They all their models really, they have a little base plate for the little figures, and it's generally black. The bigger ones have the base plates as well, and it kind of reminds me of that Warhammer kind of Games Workshop sort of thing. And wargaming in general, the desktop wargaming stuff. And that's what I'm getting from it. So I like it, this one. I like the size of it. I like proportions. I like the complexity of the build that's going into that. But then I also look at it and go, what would I do with it? Is it a display piece? Would I display it? And the answer is probably maybe. But I also then think, well, what's the point of it? It's a Lego set. Yeah, great Lego set. Lego set's there to be played with, but this kind of is almost falling over into the model kit. So model making. Again, the Gundam thing, the Gunpla. It's all model kit. You cut it out, you put it together yourself. There's a lot of skill involved. You have to finely align things, maybe do a bit of painting or panel lining or stuff like that on it. And it kind of goes down that more creative modeling sort of route. Whereas this is a Lego build. So surely, if I was going to make something like this detailed and this nice and this sort of style, would I prefer a model kit as opposed to a Lego set? This is where there's kind of a grey area going on for me personally, and I suppose a lot of other people, when it comes to Lego building and model making and anything creative like that. At the end of the day, you sit back and go, yeah, I enjoyed that. That was great. But what's the point? What's the point? I don't get anything useful at the end of it. I don't get anything. The end result is the thing. There is no end result. The satisfaction comes from doing the thing. The same with model making as well. You know, the satisfaction comes from doing the activity itself. And at the end, when you finish, you kind of look at it and go, yeah, I like that. What am I going to do with it? I'll put it on the shelf over there and I'll let it gather some dust. And I kind of see it with this one as well. So it kind of falls into that of, yeah, I like it. I like to look at it. I like the build. It'll probably take a couple of hours to build it, maybe, looking at it. But then it's just going to live on a shelf. And do I want that? I don't know. Probably, maybe. I don't know. Would I prefer a model kit of this? Probably, maybe as well. Is it going to stop me buying the Lego one? If I can get it at a good price, then no, I'll still get it. But again, as opposed to the BTS set that we were just looking at, when I look at this, I don't see that many useful bits that I could use for other things. Okay, I don't look at it and go, wow, there's loads of things in there I could use for lots of different things, or I could use that on a building I'm making, or a car I'm making, or I could use that on something else. I look at it and go, well, there's lots of little tiny bits on it. I'm not sure what I could use those for if I'm not going to use the set as it is. So, yeah, it's kind of one of those ones. It's nice to look at. It's a beautiful looking set. Don't get me wrong. And that base, the black base there, has a lot to do with that. And I'd like to see more things like that. So you could almost make a collection, and then you could have a set of them lined up on a shelf. Then it kind of starts to make sense. Yeah, again, it's the same thing. I keep coming back to this. The same thing with the Titanic. At the end of it, while you're making it, let's say, you enjoy yourself. You're great. I'm building Lego. I'm building something really big. And at the end of it, wow, I've got a huge thing that's like 1.5 meters long. Great. What the hell am I going to do with it? Where's it going to go? I haven't got a shelf long enough for that. There's no room anywhere to put this thing. So what am I going to do? Probably take it apart again and use it for something else. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things again. But yeah, I like it. Nice set. Again, let me know your opinions on this one. Whether you like it, whether you would buy it, whether you would do anything to it. Would you? I thought about putting it in the Lego City. It's kind of some sort of thing coming into the city and then taking the whole of my Brick Prefecture build into some other direction. But then I came back and thought, no. It's taken this long to get a direction for Brick Prefecture. I am not taking it off into some post-apocalyptic world. No. So yeah, really, really nice set. Again, I'd love to know what you guys think of it. Are you intending to buy it? If you are intending to buy it, let me know how much it costs where you are, because I'm not sure how much it costs where I am yet. I've got an idea in my head of what I want to pay for it, but That doesn't mean that's what the price is going to be. So we'll see. Right, so that's all the news and things that are coming in, things that caught my eye this week. But let me know your thoughts on all of that stuff. All right, drop some comments. Tell me what you think about all of that. But anyway, back to what is not news and what is just going on with Lego building. Before we look at these, I just want to share with you a package I got from Lego. So let's just move these off to the side here. We'll come back to these, don't worry. We're going to have a look through those. And like I said, we might pick something from it to build. So just before I do this, let me just grab a bit of water here. Right, okay. So my package. I was going to say, let me show you my package, but no, let me show you. Let me show you the box that came from Lego. That's for other websites. All right. So if you've never ordered any bricks from Lego, I do very occasionally, not very often, really. You get a big box like this. Now this is. I've already opened it, so I've had a quick look just to make sure it was correct and everything was in there. But usually you get the wrap, the tie wraps that go around it. So this here was my, I call it Pick-a-Brick. I think it's called something else on there at the moment. I know it might be called Pick-a-Brick still, I don't know. But this was my order because obviously I'd run out with a few things and I've got some ideas for projects in mind. There's nothing exciting in here, let's put it that way. There's not some astounding new set that I've got my hands on or anything like that. What's in here are actual building bricks. Okay, so it's a utilitarian order, I would say. So in here, what you can expect from Lego is a very nice box, very well packaged. Okay, nice, clean. And one thing I was surprised about with this was how quickly it turned up. This literally got to me within 2 days of making my order. That's like I made an order in an afternoon on a Monday, and this was with me by Wednesday. So I was very surprised at that. I was expecting to wait a lot longer. It can be hit and miss sometimes when you order things, but this was literally with me within 2 days. So if you are ordering from Lego, like I say, I'm in the UK, so I'm not a million miles away from where they're based. I'm assuming it came from, I've not looked actually, I'm assuming it came from where they're based, over in Denmark. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I probably need to look through the shipping details just to double check on it. In fact, I'm looking at it now. It's come from Poland. So Poland's on the other side of Europe, and that's like several million miles away that way. So to get this picked, put in the post and shipped to me within 2 days is astounding. I was amazed by that. But anyway, let's have a look what's in it. Okay, so what you'll get when you order bricks, if I just move this off the side here, is something like this, and everything comes, let's move it a bit closer, there you go, so you can see it, and every sort of brick type comes in its own little poly bag. So you can see here, I've got some 1x1 round tiles because I'm doing a lot of ballasting on the railway and I need some more of those. I've literally got through hundreds of these things and I've ordered several hundred more here. Even though it doesn't look like it, there's actually several hundred in there. So they'll probably all get used. Just going around the railway, putting down ballast because, like I said, I've run out. They get used for lots of different things and they're really useful. But let's just go through this just so you can see and know what to expect when you order something from Lego. Firstly, package, posting, delivery times, excellent, through the roof in terms of quickness. So yeah, really impressed with that. So yeah, let's start tipping this out. I'll just show you what I ordered. But yeah, I like the bags. The bags are really nice. I know we should be getting away from plastic, but I might reuse these for other things. You know, I might open them really carefully and use them for lots of different things. But yeah, so we've got some of those. And we've got some more of those. There we go. I'll turn them over so you can actually see it. There we go. So we've got some dark grey and light grey 1x1 round tiles, and they're going to be used, like I said, round the track for ballasting. And does it say on there how many I ordered? No, it doesn't. But it says here in total I ordered 1,670 pieces. I'm not sure whether that's right or not. I'll have to double check. And I'm not sure why it's only on that one bag. Strange. Anyway, all nice and neatly packed. We've also got some... Oh, listen to that. The sound of Lego tiles. We've also got some 3x1 light grey tiles. Again, totally ran out of these, but again, because of the damn railway tracks, putting that ballast around it. If you guys follow Instagram and some of the previous videos, you'll know that the ballasting and tile work around the tracks is quite detailed. I've not gone for the traditional brown wooden sleeper thing. I've gone more modern, concrete, urban orientated, where it's all clean, and really quite modern looking. So that's eating tiles and bits like this at the moment, and I completely ran out. So that's those. But then I also ordered a whole bag of these. Let's get the camera to focus in on that. Come on, there you go. Look at that. Everyone needs 2x1 dark grey tiles, and that's what these are. I think I ordered 400 maybe. I'm not sure, I'll have to check. But yeah, several hundred of those. Because again, when I make roads for my city, I use these. Okay, I don't use road plates. I did go down the route or road of using road base plates, but they didn't give me enough flexibility. The roads were quite wide and just wasn't enough room for it. So I went down this route instead because I had a ton of these tiles lying around. I'm not 100% sure where they all came from, but yeah, so I find that really flexible and really good. I'm not going down the mills route, okay? This is just tiles on top of a base plate to make a road. So that's those. But then I was actually quite surprised by what was in the bottom of this, because up until this point, separate bag, separate bag, separate bag, and another separate bag. And then, like I say, I ran out of white bricks. So I ordered lots of white bricks, basically, to try and bolster my supplies, because I've got some plans to build some white buildings, surprisingly. And like I said, I totally ran out. And what I was left with were old bricks from the 80s and 90s, and they're faded. They're more beige than white now, but still use them. I just hide them to the back of the building, the bit that you're not going to see really. It's going to be up against something else. So I'm not wasting anything. They're just kind of getting shoved to the back. And if you look real closely on some of my build, you'll see some slightly faded bits, because I don't just buy brand new bricks every time. I reuse what I've got. So I've reused everything I'd got, and now I need some more white ones. But what I was surprised about in the bottom of this, if I did get it out, was that. No separate bags for separate pieces, just one huge bag of bits. Let's turn it over so you can see that. I've got my invoice in here actually, so let's rip the bag open and I'll show you. Do I rip the bag open and tip it all out? Yeah, why not? Let's do it. What we'll do is we're not just going to tip it out. We're going to put it into here, just so you can see. And I've got my invoice in here as well, so I can actually look at how many bits we actually ordered. So let's just tip this. Let's tip it out. Going to make a hell of a noise on the microphone, probably. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at all those. Come on, you two out as well. Come on. Is that it? Yeah, just the invoice. Let's have a look what the invoice says. How many millions of pounds we spent on it. No, it wasn't too bad. I was actually, again, I've not done a pick-a-brick order for quite a while. So I was quite surprised at Lego prices. I thought they may have gone up through the roof, but they hadn't. All very reasonable. Well done, Lego. But yeah, let's have a look what we've got here. Do we have a total piece count? No, we don't. Okay, fine. All right, so if anybody wants to add this up, 20 base plates, 50 flat tiles, 100 1x6s, 50 white tiles, more white tiles, 50 of those, some 20 corner bricks, 20 3x3s, 50 8x1s. So there's a lot in here, basically. I'm not going to bore you with this. So yeah, but I was surprised that they just dumped it all into one bag. So now I've got to go through it all and sort it all out and put it into separate piles. Yeah, lots of white bricks, and I've got to go through and sort all of those out. but that's fine. There's only about, what, 10, 15 different types in there, so it shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too painful. Maybe I'll just crack open a beer, sit down and put some music on, and I'll have a good old sorting session. And maybe we'll do a live stream so you guys can be as bored as I am with sorting things out, but while we do it, we can probably have a chat. So yeah, I mean, I'm moaning about it, but actually I do quite like sorting bricks. It's quite therapeutic because there's no pressure. All you're doing is sorting one thing out and putting it into something else. And at the end of it, you've got a nice, tidy brick collection, and you can find everything again. And I like that. So yeah, so that's the brick order. Really excited to see lots of clean bricks because, like I said, I've been working with lots of old white bricks, faded, beige, dirty coloured, and it's really nice just to see a whole load of brand new white ones. I was kind of having to go through the collection, sorting out, and I was grading the bricks by how clean they were, or not clean and not dirty, but how not faded they were, basically, or how not yellowed they were. So I was kind of going through, well, that's a really bright white one, so that can go at the front of the building somewhere. That's a really horrible beige coloured white piece, so that's going at the back of the building somewhere. So it's just really nice to be able to look at a big box of white bricks and not have to worry about it. I can just go, I'll choose whatever I want. It's all good. So yeah, there we go. So that was the brick order. So there's lots of useful things here. Like I say, it's very utilitarian. There's nothing exciting in here. This is stuff now I've opened it to show you guys. Now I can start using it because I actually wanted to save it to show you what to expect and what I got, basically. So yeah, I can start using those now, and you'll see those in the next update because we're coming up toward, I've just realized actually, we're coming up towards the end of February, and that means we're going to do a Brick Prefecture Lego City update. And everyone likes the Lego City update. We'll do another walkthrough. I'll show you what's changed, and hopefully I can get a load of stuff done now before I do that update, because the end of the month is literally next week, isn't it? So I need to get on that. Anyway, let's move on from that. Now I've opened it and shown everyone, I can start using it because I was holding off. I wasn't going to open anything until I shared it with everyone here. All right, so that's that. That's the invoice. Let's get that out of the way. So again, tell me what you've been ordering. What have you been buying? Have you found any bargains recently in Lego? You guys probably know I'm always after a bargain. Every few days, do an Amazon search or an internet Google, Lego sales, Lego clearance, stuff like that. I'm not one of these lucky people that manages to walk into Walmart. It's not called Walmart over here. It's called Asda. I'm not lucky enough to walk into these places and just see a clearance shelf. Never seems to happen, ever, over here. So, let's have a look. I know we said this last week when we did our last live stream. We kind of finished it with some vintage Lego catalogs and ideas books. So I just want to crack those out. I want to show you some of my inspiration for Lego, really, and what led me to start building a Lego city and kind of the thought process behind it. So I just want to show some of those to you. Like I say, we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. We've got the ideas books. We'll look at those in a minute, okay? Because what I find more interesting than these sometimes is actually some of the catalogs that Lego put out, some of the paraphernalia that came with the Lego set, because these are just extras that you buy, or you used to be able to buy. I don't know. Can you still get Lego Ideas books? Are they still a thing? I've not seen any. Makes you think, why not? Bring it back. But anyway, we'll look at those in a second. But I just want to show you some of the like catalog type pages that I used to love as a kid, and I'd spend hours just staring at them going, wow, I want that, I like that idea, I want to be able to do that. And what I also want to do is share my very first Lego set, because there's a story behind it as well, and it's quite funny. All right, so let's bring this out. What I want to show you is this. Look at that. Let's just try and get it in the middle of the camera. What I might do here, let's use technology to the maximum. Let's get you zoomed in on this. So let me just press this. There you go. So there we go. You can hopefully see that now. Are we focusing? Come on, focus. There we go. All right. So this here is, you always get these leaflets with Lego. We used to. I've not really noticed it as much now. They kind of put something at the back of the instructions. But what this is kind of like the catalog leaflet insert page that shows you what other sets are available. And I was just, when I get these things out, I get all nostalgic, but I also get the old got it, need it kind of thing going on. But this is circa, I don't know, circa 1980 something. All right, this page here. Basically, I'm actually looking at it now because this is probably the first time I've actually really looked at it in depth. But a lot of this stuff on here, I'm actually surprised I've actually got a lot of this. I'm just realizing how much I actually had. So when I was a kid growing up, Lego was a big thing. Every Christmas, Lego sets. Every birthday, another Lego set. It kind of tapered off. The old, as it does when you get older, you get interested in other things. But I never got rid of the Lego. It kind of always kept it. But looking at this, what have we got here in the middle? Look at that. There's an airport. I had that airport. And you can see it here. There it is. I'll probably put some of these on Instagram actually so you can see them. But there's the Lego airport. I had that, and I've still got all of the bits for all of these sets that we're looking at here. I'm not got all the sets, but this spaceship down here. It's a shame we can't get any closer or any more focused than that. But that Lego spaceship down there, it was actually quite big. You know when you watch a Lego movie and you got Benny running around going spaceship, spaceship, spaceship. This is what he's referring to. That one there, that's kind of the ultimate spaceship. It's like the command center. It used to break apart into 3 different sections. So you had you can barely see it here, but there's a command module at the back there. That used to slide out and there'd be stuff in it. These little cars used to clip into it and under the wings, and you had 2 cockpits and laser cannons at the front. It was like the ultimate spaceship. So I had that as well. But from my memory, that was always my dad's set. I don't know what it is. I know it was my Lego, but I always, in the back of my head, I always remember a parent building it. So I did actually rebuild it quite recently, probably 2 or 3 years ago, just to see what it looked like. Yeah, I took it apart again. But yeah, I've got all the bits for it. So yeah, it was an interesting set. And then I'm looking at the castle stuff here. Lego needs to bring back castles. We've got to have some castles. I know they tried recently with a couple of things, but look at this. I had that one, but that wasn't the ultimate castle. No. This was kind of a later castle. The ultimate castle, we'll probably see it. Yeah, I can see it here. Was a yellow castle, and that was like the ultimate Lego medieval set that you got to get. I didn't have it. It was kind of that one was before my time, but it's still around. But it kind of got faded out, and it was very expensive. It was a big one, a big set. So the yellow castle was the ultimate one, but I never had that. But looking at this, I did have that castle. We had the good guys and the bad guys castle, probably the other way around. But anyway, they all kind of look the same, and you decided which one was which. Blacksmith shop, a horse and cart. In fact, looking at this, I think I pretty much had all of those. Castles are a big thing. I always had lots of Lego castles, as well as Lego City. The space thing was kind of something that came later. I didn't have as much space stuff, but I did have the Lego Space monorail. Still got it. That's what I'm using for my monorail system. What's on the back of this? Oh my goodness, look at this. Yeah, Fabuland. That never appeared on my radar at all, ever. It's kind of Duplo, but stranger. Everything was kind of animal orientated. All the figures were animals, and it was the same system as Duplo, I believe. What didn't appear on my radar, I didn't have any of that sort of stuff. In fact, I've never had any Duplo ever. But then if we scroll down here, we're not on an iPad. We'll just move down a bit. There we go. Trains. That was one of the ultimate trains. Didn't have that one either, but that again wasn't an ultimate train. The ultimate train was again a yellow train. Everything seems to be yellow. Didn't have that one, but got a lot of inspiration from this for what I'm doing now. And trains have always been a massive part of everything I do with Lego and things like that, and I love it. But then just looking at this as well, these boats, I actually had some of these. I believe I had the blue one that's in the back there. That one, that was kind of a fishing boat. I don't think I had the red one. I don't remember seeing any red sort of hull pieces lying around, but I may or may not have had that one. The black one I definitely had. That was kind of a tugboat. I think I modified it to a police boat for some reason. But yeah, I definitely got that. And if you look at the bottom here, we've got Lego Technic. That was before Lego was trying to make super realistic Technic sets. I'm just looking over there because I've got the Klaus tractor, and also the off-road 4x4 with the Caterpillar tracks on there. I've got that one down there, and the motorbikes as well. I've got those, a few of those on here, and they're airing more towards realism. Whereas Lego started Technic here as a bit of a competitor to Meccano. Meccano was those metal plates that you used to bolt together and make things. So that was kind of their competition to that product. That was before they got all super realistic and super detailed and break your fingernails every time you tried to take something apart stage. This was when it was nice and simple, and to build creativity, and you used to be able to buy sets of gears and sets of just components to build stuff. So yeah, so that's that. I like these things. What else have we got? Oh, this one's even older. Oh my god. Let's turn that around. Look, we're talking ancient now. Let's get this in as close as possible so you can actually see it. Now this is, when we look, can we get that straight on the camera there? Yes, there. If we stop there, we can get it straight. This is Spaceship. And Benny, Spaceship. This is where it came from. If you're not a child of the 80s, this is what that's always referring back to. And look at that for a classic bit of like a spaceship. This bit of paper is ancient. It's barely hanging in there. It's too fragile, really. But if we look, this is what I've just seen. If you look across here, look at that. What is that? That is a Benny spaceship, if I ever saw one. And that is 80 whatever, like early 80s. That is kind of, if you were thinking of a Lego spaceship, you would think of something like that. It's a tiny picture, so I can't really make it any bigger for anyone. Yeah, it looks like there should have been another page attached to this, but it's kind of dissolved away and disappeared. But yeah, this stuff I find fascinating. It's got that massive nostalgia value. Let's have a look on the other side. Here we go. We've got a bit of Lego City going on here. And again, this is when we weren't interested in realism. This little fire chief here looks like he's sitting on a go-kart, but that was like the rapid response fire car. When you look at it now and you compare it against some of the newer Lego sets that are out there, this looks pathetic, but it's great. It's brilliant. This little yellow house in the back here with a red roof, I had that. This was when Lego pieces or Lego windows came with shutters on them. You got a window and you had shutters on the outside and you had little tabs that stuck out. I've got a load of those windows. Those windows cause me so many headaches when I'm trying to make something because of those little tabs that stick out for the shutters that are on here, because they can't integrate well with other parts. They look great when you're building something like this, but when you're building something more modern, it don't work. All right, but yeah, windows with shutters. I think I had quite a few things on here as well. If we move across, there's the ultimate castle. There, that one. Let's move. It's so small. I've probably got a bigger picture somewhere. That yellow castle was the ultimate thing if you were into Lego Knights, Lego Castles, medieval stuff, or just Lego City in general. That was the ultimate castle to have. Full stop. That's it. If you had that, you were the coolest kid ever. Yeah. Never had it myself. But then we've got the base plates, road plates here. Still got lots of these things that I'm not using. I think they're under buildings and modular MOCs and things. I think I've recycled them into those. But yeah, base plates for roads, they were always light grey. All right, then let's have a look at that fire station. That was when that was the equivalent of a modular building now, basically. You get a fire station like that. It comes on a road base plate. What you'll find is, I'm just trying to think where I've got it to see if I can show it to you. Basically, under this is 3 lanes, or actually probably only one for the garage there, and one the other side, and then in the middle is where the building goes. And that was an actual road base plate. You don't get that anymore. You buy a Lego fire station now, it doesn't come with a base plate. None of the sets come with base plates unless it's a Lego modular, and even then that gets split into half base plates sometimes. So yeah, with that, value for money. You got the building and you got a base plate you can use for lots of other things. And if you look really closely, hey, in a brick, what we've got there is a tree. You don't get those in Lego sets anymore. You don't get Lego trees. I haven't seen one for years, especially a round one like that. My goodness. But if we scroll across here, let's move that across. Let's be very careful with it. Let's not break it. Let's bring it up and across. Come on. There we go. Look at that. Little add-on sets. There we go. Tree sets. Those little... the new thing that Lego did probably 3 years ago now was the accessory packs. You know, the ones where you get some road signs and you get some stickers and you get signs and stuff like that. And traffic lights. That was all marketed as, oh, a brand new thing. It isn't a brand new thing. It's been around for years. Look, Lego trees, flowers, accessory pack. Underneath that, a road sign accessory pack. Lego Knights accessory pack. Just a pack full of Lego Knights that you can use with everything else. Look, there's the ideas book as well. I've got that here. But yeah, this is when you could actually get stuff. You didn't have to buy or spend a lot of money if you're... Yeah, I like those trees as well. They're really cool. Yeah, but this was back in the day where you didn't have to spend a lot of money on things to collect Lego. I know we have like the little sort of blister packs now, the poly bags and things like that, but they're pretty useless, aren't they? You know, you get a minifig, you get a chair, you get a couple of wheels, or you get something really basic, basically. But these were actual add-ons for the Lego stuff, and they're absolutely brilliant. Lots of nostalgia in there, but yeah, I'm just trying to find something here, actually. I don't think I've got it to hand because, here we go. Look, this is just at the back of an instruction manual. It's actually worth showing this, actually. But this, let's get it in the middle there so you can actually see it. This was Technic Pneumatics. I've still got most of the bits for this, and most of it still works. I've got no intention of building it, but look how thin that is. That is like literally a leaflet, a pamphlet. It's thin. Look at that. And you know what? We need to do a comparison against another Lego set. I'm going to get against a modern one. Let me have a look. Let me just grab one. Probably a bit unfair to get a modular building instruction set to compare against that, because that's not apples to apples, is it? There you go. Come on. Where are you? All right, so there's a modern one. How many trees had to die to make that? Look at that. And you compare it to that, which is like, it's just crazy, isn't it? Yes, I know this isn't anywhere near as technical as this, but when we look at it in context of, one of the things that surprised me the most is how the instruction manuals have evolved to be so basic in their steps that they take. It's like literally add a brick. Step number 2, add another brick. Step number 3, add another brick. And then it's kind of, whereas back in the day, something like this isn't actually the instruction manual, is it? I'm going to be showing up now. That's not the instruction manual, James. Come on. Oh my God. Where is the I thought that was the instruction manual. Is this the instruction manual? No, that's the same thing again. That's a catalogue. This is an instruction manual. Or is it? What? No, that's not it. Where are all the instruction manuals? I'm going to give up on the instruction manuals. Actually, this is quite a good one. We're going to look at this in a minute. Look. I know it's not a Lego Technic set, but just to prove a point, let's just make sure, yeah, it's good. The pirate ship. This is a huge pirate ship. You know, it's massive. When you build it, it's probably a foot, probably 2 foot long, 60 centimeters, something like that, 80 centimeters. It's big, and it's quite tall as well. But when we open this and we actually have a look at the steps per thing, even if we look at that there. There's no put a brick here and then put another brick there. And it's just like, put all this stuff on and then move on to the next step, which is that. Okay, and then you put that on there along with, it's not add the front, add the back, add a brick, add a brick. It's kind of, here's a big lump of stuff. So then we jump to that. I mean, that's a massive jump from where we were. We'd literally got an empty hull, and now on the next page we've got that. And it's like a huge jump in instructions, and it becomes really simple. I mean, this one here, this whole manual for this one is, again, it's no thicker than a really thin magazine. So this is one of the things it's... Oh my goodness. Let's have a look at that again. So we've gone from that, all right? So we're building this, we're putting the bricks down, and we're slowly building up the sides of the ship. Great, we're putting lots of stuff on there. There's probably 20, 30 bricks were put down from the previous step. And then on the next step, we go to that. I mean, we've done the back bit, we've done all the white bricks in between, and we're basically taking this massive step. Whereas now with Lego, you don't get this. This would be broken down into 20 different pages. But this, we've got the next step, we're actually adding in, we're nearly finished the boat, and we're only on step number 9. How many steps are in this? Let's have a look, shall we? Let's go to the back of the boat. Oh. I've just looked at how big of those steps were there. Oh my god. Okay, so we're going from that. Look at that. We've almost got a completed ship. And what we're on instruction 13. That's step 13 to get to that point there. All right. And then on the next page, step 15. Where did this come from? That wasn't anywhere to be seen on step number 13, but now we're here. Yeah, but anyway, let's go all the way to the end. How many steps are actually in this? I mean, we're building some complicated rigging here for the ship, and we're only on step 25 for that bit. Then, there we go. So the completed ship there, that's the whole thing finished. Done, dusted, ready to play with, ready to put it on a shelf. And that is 28 steps that for a completed pirate ship. Let's compare it to this. Let's get it the right way around for everyone to see. There we go. Come on. There we go. This is kind of an extreme example, but you get the point. I'm just flicking through it. I mean, when I built this was just ridiculous. I mean, look, come on. Let's see where set or stage 28 takes us in this. Okay. Remember, this is what we're building. I know it's a lot more complicated than the pirate ship. I'm well aware of that. But stage 28 in here. Let's have a look. Stage 28. What do we think? We're gonna get as far as the wheels, maybe, or we're gonna get as far as maybe the chassis all constructed, or that's how far we get with stage 28. It's not even a thing yet. It's just bits. It's just crazy. And then I mean, let's stage 28. All right, that's that. And we're basically put on. If we look at the top here, we're put on 1, 2, 4 pieces. There's 4 pieces there, and it tells you what 4 pieces are. You need one of these, and they go like that, and you click it on. That's it. All right. The next step here. 2 pieces you're adding on in that step. Sometimes I feel like when I'm building these, I'm thinking, one, it's a waste of paper, and 2, do they think we're idiots? I mean, come on. I know it's a Technic set, and I know I'm not sure what age group it's made for. Is it for like 6+ or 12+ or something like that? But come on, we're not idiots. Again, 3 pieces here. 1, 2 of those, and 1 of those, and you clip it on there. I know you have to break it down for certain things. You know, you've got to make it understandable for everybody. But come on, Lego. We're not stupid. But yeah, we've gone all through that. And how many steps are in this altogether? Let's go to the back. Okay, I'm just looking at the numbers on here. Let's go to the last step there. There we go. Step. Turn it around. Come on. There we go. Step 555 gets you the completed thing. Just 555 easy steps to follow of put a brick there, put another brick there. I'm ranting now, aren't I? Let's stop that. But yeah, I just thought I'll just show you how far Lego's come from where it was. But I've just seen this here. I've got a stack of all vintage stuff here. I just want to share this with you. This has had some history. Look at the state of that. It's got sticky tape down the side. It's got holes punched into it. It's got hole protectors on it. So this has had. But this was a set you could buy. You basically got a ton of bricks, and you can make whatever you want. And then again, this is something I feel like I'm ranting today. I really am. I'm not. I think it was the Mills plate discussion we had at the start of this. If you missed that, go back to the start. That started me on a little bit of a rant today. But anyway, back to this. You used to be able to. This was a box of bits basically, and you could build whatever you wanted to out of the box. This truck at the top here, I loved that. I built that so many times. But this was the creativity of Lego. This is what Lego's all about: is creativity. It's all about creativity and putting your brain to work to think about things and how to build things. And this, you could build anything. I mean, look at this. There's a building, there's a factory with a crane, and there's a truck underneath. You could do that through the set. You can only ever build like one of these from the set at any one time. But my point is, I mean, look at that. That's, again, something completely different. How cool is that? But you could build that because the set came with building bricks. Bricks you could build with, not these little tiny bits that you get in sets now, which are like a 1x1 this and a 2x2 that, a flat plate. We'll stack 3 of those together to make something else. This was when it was proper bricks and kids could have fun with it. And, you didn't have to. I think a lot of the sets nowadays, look, it's falling apart. A lot of the sets nowadays the bricks are so small that no one can think. Especially kids, they can't think of anything new to do with those pieces because they're so small and so tiny, and it's just it's hard to imagine. Whereas if you get a whole load of bricks like this, you can easily imagine what to make and think of new things. I mean, look, you can make a whole truck here in 10 easy steps. Kids aren't going to be put off by that. They'll just look at that and go, yeah, great, fine, I can make that. Maybe I want to adapt it and change that bit because it's dead easy. It's dead simple. It's very difficult to do that with the sets nowadays, I find. But anyway, look, here we go. Look, we're building a thing on a base plate like that, and 3 steps there, nice and clear. It even gives you an overhead view of what it should look like. But I'm guessing at the end of this we'll have something nice in about 12 steps. Let's have a look. Okay, so bearing in mind we haven't got anything there on that page. You turn the page, and there you go. Look, you've nearly got a completed building because the bricks are bricks. They stack together to make nice proper buildings. If this was a modular nowadays, this would be made up of like 500 different pieces. Those roof bricks probably wouldn't be allowed now, not as they are anyway. You'd have to do other things to it. You'd have to put some fancy guttering on there, and you'd have to put a fancy thing on top of the roof, and it'd have to open up for a surprise inside and things like that. Or the interior would have to be tiled. There's no tiling going on here at all. There's nothing. But this is when Lego was fun, and it was all about being creative. But anyway, you can go through it. Look, we've got a thing with rails on top. I think I've still got some of these somewhere. But these rails were for the actual train. The Lego trains had rails like this, and you clip them onto the sleepers to make your own track. They didn't come like it does now, which is all kind of one piece. You had to make it yourself. So, but again, being used creatively here as some sort of operation where you can put a crane on top, and the crane's got a grabber on it, and it drops things down into the trucks. It's just, this is more imagination than anything else. Look at that. That's brilliant. Any kid would like that even now. I mean, absolutely brilliant. But again, same pieces applied in a different way. Look at that helicopter there. That is a proper helicopter. It looks like a helicopter. It's not minifig scale or anything like that, but it's that bridging that gap between realism and playability. But that whole helicopter you can build in 15 steps, not 555. Yeah, I know I'm on a rant today. But again, this instruction manual is just full of stuff that you can make. There we go. You got a completed radar detection thing going on there, or maybe it's a satellite broadcasting place, or maybe it's for radio. Who knows? Could be anything. And that was the whole point of Lego. You could be creative. It's not set in stone what it is, and it's still realistic, but it's not hyper realistic like a lot of the sets try to be. Now, don't get me wrong, I like things that are realistic. I like cramming detail into things. I do that all of the time with my buildings. Because I'm not a kid anymore. You know, I put detail into it, but when I was a kid, this was the ultimate thing. This was great. I don't think when you're a little kid, you don't want any more than this. You just want to be able to not be too precious about it, take it apart, build something new. That's what it was all about when you were a kid, taking it apart, dismantling it. And it's not like that anymore. I'm actually taking apart the Ninjago docks set. And it's a nightmare to take apart because there's so many little parts in there. I'm having to sort, put things away, and it's literally breaking off into like little tiny pieces. I didn't build that originally. My son built it, so I let him do that bit. And now I'm taking it apart because there's no room for it, and we need to use it for something else. But I'm taking it apart thinking this is tedious. There's so many small bits in here. This is ridiculous. So yeah, but here, taking this apart, I mean, look at that truck. That's all bricks. That's proper bricks. Building blocks, which is what Lego is. It's not like lots of little bits in here. So yeah, and again, that you could motorize the thing. I actually had that. I'm not sure where it is now, but look at that for a battery box. That's a hell of a battery box. So yeah, to me, this is a world away from the Lego we've got nowadays. It's up to you guys whether you think it's better or not now. I can see it's better in a different way. But yeah, this is where it all started for me, this sort of stuff here. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole manual there. Look at that. That has got about 5, 6 different sets in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and some other bits in there. 5 or 6 different sets in there, and it's that thin, and any kid could pick that up and play with it and have fun with it. But yeah, that when you compare it to that, again, I know it's a Technic set, but you get the point. And that's not a cheap set either. I never pay full price for things. I always wait for them to be on sale. But that one, this again raises the question: is Lego growing up with itself? You can think that's the child Lego, as it was back in 1980, whatever it was. And then that child has grown up into something like that. Or have Lego lost its roots from this and have gone to that? And is it too far? I don't know. I know kids aren't any more sophisticated nowadays. They've got more sophisticated stuff around them, but they're not any more sophisticated. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just musing now over different thoughts. All right, so we are running out of time. We're probably not going to build anything today, unfortunately. But however, I will keep you up to date with things I have been building. There is another update coming out for the city at the end of the month. So look out for that. I'm hoping to get that live. Where are we? It's 26 today, isn't it? So I'm hoping to get that live next week, probably next weekend. For everybody. I've been promising this a while, and that's an update on Lego trains. I've had lots of questions and comments about the new train that's going around the city at the moment. And I was going to do a video on that 2 weeks ago now, and I got halfway through filming it, and then didn't like how it looked on the film, so I took the entire thing apart and I rebuilt it, what I like to think or consider to be better, with a more pronounced look and a more realistic look. I mean, I say that now, a more realistic look. I've just been moaning about how complicated Lego is now and how basic and great it used to be back in the day, and I'm sat here saying now I've actually taken something apart because I wasn't happy with it and made it more complicated. But again, I digress. So yeah, that will be coming as well. I want to do that. I've had to refilm or reshoot the video with the new train, and I really like it. I really like the new train that's going around, and I hope you guys do as well. I have been asked if there are instructions for it, and unfortunately they're not. It's one of those things I've kind of made up as I've gone along, so it's had lots of changes along the way. But in the video, you'll be able to see some of the construction techniques that have gone into it. I'll do some close-ups. So if you wanted to build it yourself or have a real good close-up look at some of the train details, you can do. I'll make sure they're in the video, and I'll make sure it's nice and slow so everyone can kind of have a look at that. But let's finish on what I would consider a modern catalogue. 1992. This is probably the last big catalogue I remember getting. I don't think there was one after this, but yeah, this to me, this is still modern. So I can't remember what's in here. I've literally just pulled it out of the pile. So let's see what's in it, shall we? But 1992. But before we even open it and look at it, what does this cover remind everybody of? It reminds me of the Lego Movie logo. And this is 1992. So that's a long time ago. I'm getting feelings of Lego Movie just by looking at that. I can see where they've got some of their stuff from. And that's one of the things I like about the Lego Movie. The first one only. We don't talk about the second one. The first one only. I watched that. And I'm sad to say I actually watched it on my own. I didn't want anybody else around, so I watched it on my own just to get the nostalgia and have no kids talking in the background or anything like that. And I loved it. Still like it now. It's all the way up through the intro sequence. It's great. Love it. Because it gets that nostalgia thing going, and you're looking at it going, oh, Lego Knights, Lego Westerns, and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, a lot of feels going on with that. But I relate it back to this stuff. So let's have a look. Oh, look. Here we go. Check it out. So this always gets me, and again, it might get me banned from YouTube or something. Everyone's always going on about diversity, and everyone should be diverse, and there should be people from every country, every race doing everything. And it's banged on about like it's a new thing. And then you look at things from back in the day, 80s, 90s, 70s even. You look back then at certain things, and you realise, actually, this isn't what are we moaning about? This has been going on forever. We're kind of, everything's always been diverse. I mean, if we look at this, we've got everybody on here. So this diversity thing, what are we banging on about? If we just left everyone alone, it was already there in 1992. Everyone was well aware of it, or wasn't aware of it, and were just getting on with their lives. So let's stop that thought conversation, because, like I say, controversial. We might get banned. But anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. You know what? People aren't diverse enough anymore. But yeah, 1992 we were. Or did we just not care and just get everybody involved anyway? Who knows? Anyway, let's move on. What have we got? Okay, so we've got baby stuff. Don't get baby stuff with Lego anymore. Good God, no. But yeah, this was a big thing back then. Baby toys. It's like Duplo for Duplo. Bricks, no worries if you've got to go. Catch up on the video later on. I'll be posting it. It will be there ready for you to watch back anyway. So yeah. Baby stuff. Don't get baby stuff anymore, do we? What else have we got? Let's have a look. This is, like I say, this is Duplo, like pre-Duplo stuff, I suppose. A big bucket of bricks. What more could anyone ask for? A couple of kids playing quite happily with that. They're just stacking bricks on top of each other. All right. Okay, let's I'm flicking through Duplo because I never had Duplo. It was never a thing for me. But oh my God, he's well happy with that, isn't he? But then this is Duplo moving on a bit. We've got some animals in there, and it's like the more grown-up Duplo. I had a few friends who had this. I never got into it. This is the sort of stuff you see in the dentist and doctor's waiting rooms, isn't it? And sort of shoved in the corner for the kids to play with. The stinky, sticky box of Lego for kids to mess around with. So yeah, there's Duplo. Let's move on a bit. What else? We've got more Duplo. We've got loads of Duplo in here. Duplo trains. I know there's a lot of people out there really into Duplo still. Then we moved on. Then we had Duplo houses. Look at this. I think I've got some of these roof bricks here. You see those? I've got a couple of those. I don't know where they came from, but I've got a few of those in the collection. So Yeah, more Duplo. This is several pages in, and we're still in Duplo land. This is interesting. This was what's it called to see that? Tulio. Bit like Lego Technic, but for Duplo kits. And it came, I remember seeing this. It had some, like, you see it there. It had this little screwdriver. So it's kind of competing with Meccano and that sort of stuff. Never had any of this. Never even saw any of this anywhere. I don't think it was long-lived, to be honest. All right, there we go. Now we're into Lego, proper Lego bricks. And this is when it used to be called Lego System. It was a system of Lego. And these were like Legos. This is like the basic stuff. This is kind of your box of bricks. You can see there, look, they're the boxes of bricks. Tons of stuff. Lego still does this sort of stuff, but not as many as this. You could, I mean, this is when the magazines weren't exaggerated. You could literally tip it out and have that much stuff in there. One of the things I've just noticed on here, I don't know how well it's going to show up on the camera, but just there, trays, sorting trays for Lego. And a little box to put it in with a little lid on it. And I believe that's a base plate on top of that, so you can build on top of the box. How clever is that? Wow, who would have thought? That's kind of that's a revolutionary idea, that is. And what have we had recently from Lego? Their collaboration with IKEA, doing exactly the same sort of thing. It is not a new idea. This was 1992. It's been done. It's there. It just went away and then came back again. All right. What else have we got in here? Oh, there you go. We've gone to proper Lego now. No. Again, more sorting trays. I never had any of these, but again, sorting trays for bricks. Brilliant. We need more of this. Come on, Lego. Just give us some cheap sorting trays. And there's a thing with a carry handle there. And oh, look, you can put it into these. There's like bigger sorting boxes. As adult fans of Lego, we crave stuff like that because our collections are so big. We need this sort of stuff. Come on, Lego. We want that. Bring it back. But yeah, again, this is what I consider to be proper Lego. Bricks, windows, doors, bricks, roof pieces, bricks again. And what it does is it makes you build whatever you want. There's only little tiny bits lying around and like 2x1 tiles and this little specialized bracket thing. It's a building brick. And this is one of the things I've noticed about a lot of recent Lego sets. There's very few building bricks in there. These little bits. There's no building bricks. I want bricks. I don't want little farting hinge bits or stuff like that, or snot bricks or anything else. I want proper bricks. All right. Okay, so then we've got, let's move it on. You can see we're going up through the age groups here. Then we move on to Lego Basic. This was kind of like Lego City, but the scale was a bit bigger. I did have some of this, actually. But it introduced lights. And these lights used to sit on top of a battery box, like a 9-volt battery box. The same battery box, or I think it was the same one you used to get for the Lego monorail. You know, those little ones with a little push tab on top to start it up. And these lights used to sit into it and used to interconnect, and you used to get some plates, like 2x8 plates that had metal strips running through, so you could extend the lights out, and cables and things like that. Again, there's very little of that around at the moment. There's nothing. Lego now have one light brick, but you push it in, it does a little light, you let go, it goes off. A bit boring. We want lights back, Lego. This is something interesting for you guys. I've actually got my dad working on some light systems for bricks. He's an electrical engineer. He's worked with some pretty tricky technical systems over the years, so I've got him seeing what he can do with lights for Lego. So if anyone's interested in that, I know there are Lego light sets and kits out there, but I'd like to do my own. So if anyone's interested in that, stay tuned. We'll give him an update as soon as he's done something. All right, so let's go through this, carry on. Then we have, did we miss a page there? No, it's just very thick paper. Okay. Pirate ship, we just literally looked at those pirate ship instructions. But yeah, I love pirates. I think I had that one. I had the pirate island at the top here. And if we go through, what else we got? Yeah, I had one of these ships. I think I had the blue one as well. I wanted this. That was like the ultimate pirate castle thing. I didn't have it. I had the little one here instead. I never had that. I never saw that anywhere. Excuse me. Never had that, and never saw it anywhere. There's like a whole port. Brilliant. Never, like I say, never saw it. Never had it. Nothing. All right. What else we got? Oh, we're on to Lego Knights. This was after I had Lego Knights and Medieval. There was kind of 3 eras of Lego castles. They had the yellow castle, which was back in early 80s, late 70s. Then they had the normal grey castles. I think it was like they're called the Grey Wolves or something like that. And then they had this, which was like 90s. So we're in 92 with this one. I never had any of this, but this is where Lego, I think, got themselves into a bit of trouble in terms of costings. These had base plates, but they were molded and they were tall, so they actually rose up, and there was like this massive base plate that took up half the box. There was a couple of those, and I don't think Lego quite got the price point right in the 90s, so they had a bit of a problem there. But yeah, this was like later medieval knight stuff. I had a couple of things from here, not too many. I think I had this, which is like a Robin Hood set. Yeah. Oh, we're getting major nostalgia vibes going on now. All right, then we had this. Who knows what this evolved into? Put it in the comments. I'll give you a second. Who knows what Lego Paradisa evolved into? We've still got it now, although they are changing it again. I'm going to have a drink of water if anybody knows what that evolved into. It's quite a common set, so go on, put it in the comments. It evolved into Lego Friends. All right, what Keegan, you had a lot of that. Brilliant. And this was kind of this Paradisa thing that they were kind of trying to market it at girls again. You know, that whole sexist thing. But I like it. I think this is brilliant. Like horse. When I was a kid, I was into horse riding. We've got horses now, and back in the 90s, it was like, well, girls do horses, and they like horse riding. They like horse boxes and horse jumping and going to the beach and things like that. I'm sorry, but everyone likes doing those things, and I like this. That base plate there. Look how many different colours are on the base plate. We've got a couple of blues and yellows. Don't get those now. Come on, Lego. But yeah, this I think evolved into the Lego Friends type thing. I mean, look at that. Look at that glass. That's glass on the front of that. That is brilliant. But yeah, then we kind of went across to here. The beachside mansion. Look at that base plate. That's all molded. Brilliant. You know? Yeah, you got it, Keegan. So yeah, I had like the palm trees. I had a load of those because of the pirate thing again. But yeah, there's no need to market that as for girls as a separate Paradisa thing, whatever it is. You know, Lego City all the way. That'd fit in Lego City. Brilliant. It's just the Miami Beach thing, isn't it? I like it. And they think, well, we'll just put a bit of pink in here. That girls will buy it then. I'd buy it. I like it. I think it's great. Color doesn't matter. Color's color. It's just anything. It's just color. It doesn't have to be a girl's color or a boy's color. It's a color. All right. So yeah, I've forgotten all about that. That is brilliant. I never had any. What else have we got? Oh my goodness. Look at that. Octan. Been around forever. Again, Lego movie. This is what they're kind of referring back to. It's Lego. Lego actually did a whole collaboration with Shell at one point. I think I've got some of their pieces actually. Kind of ironic, really. Shell, oil, petroleum. Lego's made from oil. Strange. Obviously, you can't do that now because it's controversial. Oil and plastic doesn't come from oil anymore. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, this was all the ships. Again, to me, this is all new. I never really had a lot of this because it's what I would call new. I had a few things from it, but this is when I was kind of sort of going past Lego growing up, I suppose. Yeah, so I never had any of these, although I really wanted them deep down, but I never had them. Right, what else we got? If anybody else had any of these sets, please tell me which ones you had. And if you still got them, if you guys have still got some of these things, which ones have you got? Which ones did you have? Is there something in here that we're missing? Did you have older stuff than this? Because I think I've got an older catalogue knocking around here somewhere. So tell me what you had. As we go through it, if you spot anything that like Keegan's got here, if you spot anything that you've got or had, just put a thumbs up, put a shout out going, I had that one. And also tell me if you still got it. Right, so then we move on to, what is this? Okay, so we've gone, oh look, here we go. Lego Town. No energy crisis in this town. Was there an energy crisis in the 90s? Is history repeating itself? Energy crisis, oil, octane in the 90s, and now we're in 2022 and we've got energy crisis still or again. It's always interesting to look back on these things and spot a bit of politics. It's kind of relevant still. But anyway, Bricks, if you're watching this back, look, my friend, trees, proper trees. All right. Okay, right, let's carry on. All right, so we had town on that previous page. This is now leisure. And then we've got racing. And then we've got vehicles. And we've got police. We've got whole collections of things for different stuff. And again, this is what inspired me when I'm building a Lego city, seeing how they set their photography up. So you can see here we've got a beach buggy and a camper van coming down the hill into the Lego city, and there's some houses in the background there. You can see the beach and everything else. But it just it shows how far this has evolved again. Some of this is pretty basic, some of it's quite detailed. You can see the transition into the new Lego, but this is still Lego system. Then we had this. It still makes me nostalgic, emotional, sad, upset, angry. This monorail here, I never had it. I wanted that, and I never had it. I had the space one instead, which was great. Like, I've still got it. So I wanted that one because that was the ultimate monorail set. Oh, I loved that. Look at all the track that's in there. It goes down, it goes up. You got stops for stations, it interweaves. If I had that now, there's so many things I could do with it. I just can't find Lego monorail anywhere at a decent price at the moment. But yeah, wanted that. Desperately wanted that. Still, if I could find that somewhere and get it, I'd have it. I've got a million uses for it. But yeah, look at that again. That's what inspired me to build a Lego city. These shots here, you know, where they've kind of set it out. I mean, look at this. We're at an airport. There's a space shuttle coming on the back of a truck. Brilliant. That's what inspired me. But again, there's those accessory packs, which apparently Lego thinks is a new idea. Look at this. We've got a monorail accessory pack. We've got a tree accessory pack, some fences and gates and flags for a racetrack accessory pack, signs, base plates. All right, let's move on, because we're on to Lego trains now. Now, again, this is kind of my thing. I never had any of these either. Sad. But don't worry, I've made up for it now. Again, lots of trains. This was the 9-volt era, I believe, with the metal tracks. Okay, there we go again. This here is what inspires me when I'm making stuff. These sets, these layouts that they use to promote in their catalogue. There's something going on. It's like a mini Lego city all in one. I love it. All right, what else have we got? Okay, we're on to trains again. Major inspiration here, but hold on 1 second. What is that in the middle there I am seeing? That red thing. That looks like a crocodile. Lego released that quite recently as a bigger set, a more detailed set, but 1992, there it is. There's the OG version. And again, the yellow station. I know some of you guys commented on this last week that you had the yellow station. I can't remember who it was. There it is. And there's that classic train there. That's fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah, so a lot of nostalgia in here. We've got some boats again. I never had any boats. I had a couple, and they used to float, so you could take them in the bath with you. That was the best part. You take Lego in the bath. Or put it in the paddling pool in the summer and things like that. But yeah, I never really had too many boats. But then this was kind of where I started to get back into Lego again, just really briefly with this space stuff. Because the space stuff, come on, back in the middle of the camera, there we go. So space moved on from being white and blue and all of those things, and it started going darker, more moody, and goodies and baddies, and good guys, bad guys. And then we had the M-Tron stuff. Now I had, which one did I have? I had that one there, that big spaceship, and that's when Lego kind of introduced magnets on things, and there's a load of magnets in here. They had magnets on trains as well for the couplings, but they had magnets as just part of the thing, and loved that. Loved the M-Tron stuff. I vividly remember there were competition for M-Tron where you had to name or come up with a name for the bad guys or their planet or something like that. I can't even remember what I entered, but I vividly remember coming up with something for that. It's a long time ago now. And again, there's more dark space stuff. This was BlackTron. So these were kind of the bad guys. So we must have been thinking up names for the planet then. Again, very dark. Lots of really useful bricks on there. Black base plates. Wow. Didn't even remember. Don't even remember those now. Wow. Not even seen any of those recently. I don't think I've ever seen any. Again, we've got the big sort of set scene there. It looks like something out of Marvel, doesn't it? Well, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy. That whole thing there. What else do we have? Then we're on to what is called, was called Model Team. This is what I aspired to. Model Team. This was not Technic, not Lego System, but this halfway thing where you've got a realistic Lego model. I loved these. In fact, I remember building that truck. I never had it, but I used to stare at that picture and try and recreate it. And I did quite a good job, actually, just using the bricks I've got. And I love that. I think this whole Model Team thing is kind of what they need to almost bring back. I know they still do. This was modeled, realistic models for older kids, whereas now Lego will do realistic models like the Ultimate Collector's Edition, but that's more aimed at adults than kids. Especially, I keep saying it, the Titanic. I can't see any kid playing with that. They'd be bored out of their head, I think. It's more of a model than a play thing, whereas this was kind of up there as a detailed Lego set that anyone could build, and you get something that looks really good. Yeah, so I always aspired to those. I never had any of those, and I was hard done to as a child. But then we had the Technic stuff, and this was as pretty much as detailed as Technic got. There was one car. I'm wondering if it's in here. There might be a couple in here, but it was nowhere near where it is now. Then we move on, and again, we've got motorbikes. Lego motorbikes, Technic motorbikes. Again, it's not a new thing. It's been around for years. Again, I always wanted this plane, and also what's I think I had the thing on the next page actually. This plane, I had that. I still got it somewhere. Not built it for years, but yeah, still got that one. Here we go. Here's the proper Technic stuff. This is when it starts to get bigger, better. There's a whole sort of truck here with a crane on the back, very much like the Lego Technic Klaus green, the green tractor. Very, very similar to that. I've actually got it over there. I'm looking at it now, and it's kind of a similar layout, really, with the crane and the grabber on the back. So that's not new. I consider that it is brand new. The Klaus thing, it's like, what, 5 years old? 6, maybe 7, maybe more. I don't know. But yeah, it's a very similar design to this. I always wanted this. What else we got? Oh, right, the classic Ultimate Technic car. It had gears in it. It had all sorts of things in it. But yeah, that was kind of these were as detailed as it got. I think I had that one. I remember something like this. It may not have been that exact one. I don't think I've got any wheels that look like that. And then we had this, which was a little bit like the Mindstorms thing that they do at the moment. And you could program the robot arm to do stuff. This was like mind-blowing technology at the time. This was like, oh my god, it's robotics. It's the ultimate thing. And yeah, I never had it. But yeah, one of those things you always aspire to. Never had it again. But anyway, that's the end of that catalog. I just thought I'd share that with you. And don't forget, you can join the Lego Club. All you got to do is fill in this here and send it off. I wonder what would happen if we filled that in and sent it off now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should we do that? Should we fill this in and send it off to the address that's on here? And shall we see what we get back? If you think that's a good idea, put it in the comments. Let me know. We probably won't get anything back from it, but that could be a bit of a cool experiment. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. Should we fill in this? What is this? Enroll me as a member for the Lego Club. I remember I joined this 2 or 3 times back in the day. I never really got anything back from it. But apparently what we should get inside it is a badge, a membership card, a sew-on patch, some club stickers. If anyone joined this and got this stuff, tag me on Instagram or let me know. And because I never got any of this, we've got to pay for it. Oh my God, that's extortionate amount of money. £3.75. Although if you're in the Irish Republic, you've got to pay £4.25. And I don't know what it is in the rest of the world. But what else do we get? You get the Bricks and Pieces magazine. And it says here, if a photograph of one of your models is published in Bricks and Pieces, you become a master builder. Ask your mum or dad if you can join. That's brilliant. I like that. And we also have some service hotlines on here as well. So if anyone wants to focus in on that and ring some of those numbers, see if anybody answers, see if those numbers are still relevant. They might be, I don't know. But yeah, if you think we should fill this in and join the Lego Club, let me know and we'll send it off and we'll see what we get back, if anything at all. It'll probably just get lost in the post. Actually, what address is on here? Let's have a look. Where have we got to send it to, Lego? Where do we need to send it? Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't. Oh, Wrexham. We need to send it to Wrexham. So I'm going to. I'm going to look that up to see if it's still a relevant address. I've just noticed something else on here as well, which is hilarious. You've got to remember, this is an official Lego catalog, the Lego Group. All right, we all know. And I think looking at statistics, Lego Group made £6.6 billion last year as a group. All right, just bear that in mind, because on here where it says service hotlines, obviously the helplines for Lego, which they still have, you can still ring them and talk to them. But on here it says, for customer service queries, phone Christine or Barbara on the following number. Christine or Barbara? We've got to ring Christine or Barbara for the service hotline. There's 2 people on the customer services hotline then. But then if we look a little bit further down on here, what it also says is, for Lego Club queries, phone Sue or Meryl on this number. People had a name back then. You could know the name of the people you were ringing at the service centre before you actually rang it. And then a little bit further down, I've got to look to see if these numbers are still relevant. I'm going to do that. For spares and service queries, please phone Sean on this number. But for all other inquiries, please call Lego Limited on this number here. That's brilliant. That's amazing. We've got the names of the people that worked at Legoland and in the service hotline department. If anybody knows these people, you've got to let me know if these guys are still around, if they're still doing stuff with Lego. I hope they are. I hope they're lifelong members of Lego. I've got to know who these people are. If anybody knows and wants to do a bit of investigation, let me know. We're looking for Christine or Barbara on the customer services hotline. This is for Legoland or Lego Club, all right? Or Sue or Meryl. If anybody knows who they are from the Lego Club, again, tag them, let me know. It'd be absolutely hilarious if we could find these people. And the spares and spare parts service hotline, we're looking for Sean. Sean, if you're still out there, get in touch. I want to bring the whole gang back together again. That's absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. And on that note, I think we need to leave it there for today. If you think it's going to be a good idea to send this off to try and join the Lego Club with this, let me know and we'll do it, and we'll see the results on a future video. If anybody knows anybody on this list of numbers, let them know. They need to be on here. All right, so we'll leave it there for today. The Lego Catalog 1992 edition. If you had it, if you had anything out of it, let me know. Put it in the comments. Watch the video back if anyone's here who hasn't seen the start of it. We had some news at the start. We had a rant about milled plates. We also had a bit of an insight into the new BTS set. And we also had a look at the Horizon Forbidden West set that's coming out soon. So if you want to know my thoughts on any of that, watch the first part of this video. We also had a nice package from Lego, which we opened. Really interesting to see the parts in there. Okay, that's a good place to leave it. Join me again next week, same time. Keep an eye out on Instagram. Keep an eye out on the channel just to see when that video goes out. It should be the same time next week. It might not be. It might be a slightly different time, but I'll make sure everybody knows. It was great to see everybody. Leave your comments. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Make sure notifications are turned on so you're fully aware when the next video goes out. So for today, enjoy the rest of the weekend. And I'll see everybody very, very soon.